Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's AMA of GitHub Externship. As we have been joining in each and every day with guests from across the organization. So, today we have with us mentors from Deskera. We have with us Prasant and Prem Singh. So, hi Prasant, hi Prem.
Hey Kaushik,
Hey
hi.
Kaushik,
Yeah, hi. Hope you are doing well.
Yep.
yeah, we're doing great. How about you?
Okay, okay, I'm doing fine. So we have today with us students from across who are participating in this Kera and are willing to participate and move ahead with GitHub Externship. So for the same, we have got a few participants as well as they would be asking in questions, and I'll be trying to set up a tone for the entire event of how if some student comes up to Deskera, what does he need to do? What would be he be doing for the next course of 3 months, and what would be the guidelines as well as what would be the workflow? So we are here to discuss them all. So before I begin, I'd just like both of you to introduce yourself a bit.
All right. Sure. Prashant, you want to go first?
You go ahead.
Yeah. Well, hi guys. Myself, Prem, and I'm working in Deskera, as a staff software engineer. And during my tenure, I have worked on the multiple technologies related to, which does the latest technology in the current IT world. It may be related with the DevOps or, microservice world and all. So in the Deskera, we actually promote a very good environment in terms of the working environment. Okay, and we have a very good mentorship and a team which always ready to help the juniors team. So basically, Prashant will talk more about this, about the Deskera environment and you know how we deal with the Deskera team for the new joining, and if somebody joins to Deskera, what all the benefits and what all the things will be taken care and what are their futures and all. So I will just make it very short and will restrict with myself only. Okay, so yeah, so basically one of the project for the internship where I will be mentoring. Okay, so I can talk about the project later. Sometime it's just a short introduction. I want to keep it. So maybe Prasant handing it to.
Okay. Hi guys. So this is Prashant. So I have almost 18, 19 years of experience in the industry, and I have been across a plethora of domains, be it education, be it IoT, be it mobile, be it web application, and in terms of domains, be it energy, be it ERP now. So since Deskera is heavily into ERP domain, that's the kind of experience I have. And in terms of technology, so you name it, we have worked on it, and we are also doing that in Deskera and encourage everyone to basically be feel free to basically jump onto the interests of technology and uh, start doing great work.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Prem and Prasad. Now, what we'll be doing is that I'll just let you make us understand what the flow of the event is. And by flow, what I do mean is that what is actually the projects about from Deskera and what are the scopes of the project. So, if you could just explain what is the projects that Deskera is providing for the students to do.
Okay, so let me give insight into one of the projects, and then later on, Prem would add more details about the other project. We'll summarize it. We'll keep it short. We'll not get into much of the details. Based on the summary, maybe other guys can have questions they can ask and all that. So basically, one of the projects is related to since we are in ERP domain. Uh, so there are like companies, organization who set up their accounting on our platform, right? And so there is intense need of basically talking to the customers and vendors on the accounting platform. So basically, there's lots of business that would be happening Basically, you will be selling something, you will be buying something, taking hold of inventory, taking hold of payments, and all that. So one of the things right now, which seems pretty big, is needed is to evolve this uh, into a platform where customers also can directly view their transactions, make the payments, get notified about what's going on with their. Currently, the email, the only way communication happens is through an email. Only once the organization admin decides, okay, this, and sends an email notification. So basically, it would be a portal where everything can be self-managed by the customers and vendors. They can track their transaction, payments, everything. If anything approval is needed, they can track that. They can track their personal information, whether it's correct or not, all that. So that is the kind of project that uh, one of the projects is looking forward toward.
All right. Thanks, Prashant, for briefing about one of the project. There's other project where we have, tracking the attendance. All right. Now, everybody knows how important is the payroll. We all are working for what? Everybody knows that, and whoever is going to work, they definitely, payroll will always be an important part of the employee. So in Deskera, we have one of the product which we call people. So that's the people management in terms of the entire life cycle of the employee. We manages starting from the payroll to their the taxes calculation, everything as per the country, as well as their attendance. Now this project is all about a small model we have picked up, because all we know that we are working remotely. Now this is becoming a culture, right? So in our this pandemic, everybody is working remotely, and definitely when we go to the office, we have a biometric, we have the different way of tracking that employees attendance. But what we have thought of to build a mobile app. It's a very uh, the concept is you build a mobile app whenever the employee is logging into the system. Basically, he start working, he login into the system, and his location and everything will be keep sending to the backend server. All right, along with his selfie images and all. And then there will be two view. Actually, one is for the employee, the other view is for the admin. So admin can always see the reports on the web portal. We are not want to actually go into the mobile and build those reports on the mobile, but for to limit the scope, we want it in the web server. So in the web server, there will be two view. One is the employee who can always go and see his own attendance, and the other view will be for the HR or the admin, who can actually see the attendance and the complete tracking of the resources. The drill down reports should be there. All right. And later on, this can be integrated with the payroll system, in terms of calculating his LOP, or the other terms, other things. So this is all about this project. All right. Technology for this project, we have already listed the technology which we are using it. But yeah, from the mobile side, I can just mention, React Native is the one of the technology which is one of the in the IT world currently it is going on top. In the backend, they can use the feel free to Go lang, which is again is top rating language, as well as the Spring Boot, which is they are feel free to use any of this. Database side, yes, it's a choice of Mongo versus PostgreSQL, whether they want to go with the relational and the, you have the NoSQL as well. So there is no such restriction on the technologies, right? So this is all about the project, and I just wanted to sort it out because I want to give more time for the audience. If they have any queries, any questions and all, so they can, ask us. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yeah. So that does help me get understanding of what the project is all about. The next thing that though Prem you emphasize on the tech part, I would like to know a few tech details of what the tech stack would be required from Prasant, the project he was describing, so that it is easier for the students to know on which tech stack they are required to work, and if at all they have experience in that tech stack or not.
So definitely. In terms of the tech stack, um, so Deskera is mostly using what Prem has mentioned, and it will be around that. in this customer portal that we are thinking about can be a mobile application as well. So it can be a mobile application, it can be a web application, and in terms of on the back end and the databases, there's complete freedom up to your choice to decide on whether you want to go to use Golang, you want to use Java, or something else. So we are open to that. So in terms of the languages, we are not going to limit anyone. Similarly, on the database side, it can be PostgreSQL, MySQL, NoSQL as well. But the overall thing is that it has to fit the overall architecture and design that we have in place. So we are following microservices heavily. So it means that any services that you're building, it should be containerized. Um, so mobile applications, so there are some design and constraints and all that we not constraints, the rules and guidelines that we have, those needs to be strictly followed. Similarly for web application as well, it could be React or an Angular.
Okay, that does help get an understanding of what the students would be required to do or how to move it. The next thing that comes to a student's mind while completing or while applying for organization is that what is the scope of the project. And by scope, what I do mean is that, let's say you have defined where what the project is all about. There are long term goals, there are short term goals for but for these students, these short term goals would be their long term goals, comparing that they would be associated with you for the next 3 months. So as a student, how do I know that what I would be doing in the next 3 months? So if you could just tell us what the scope of the project is for this externship period, that would be great for us.
Okay, so I think I'll explain it for one of the projects, and it applies to both of these. I think
Yes, sir.
so. What we have, since we knew about that this externship program is not a very long duration one, right? So it is short duration. So the projects that we have chosen are designed and chosen in such a manner that it fits within that 3 months period. So anyone or the team of or the group of people who are going to start on these, they would be able to easily complete within 3 months.
Okay,
Yeah, just
that
to
really does help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to
Prem,
add on
yours.
that, Kaushik, as Prashant mentioned, that the scope of the project is well defined by taking care of our, end timeline. But at the same time, we also want whoever will work, they should have ample things to take away from this. It's not just work and
Yeah.
go. We have get a lots of opportunity to learn the stuff. That's where we are focusing more. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so that definitely lines perfectly with the program, saying that they would be completing the entire project. So they do know the end-to-end cycle of a software development project for those who would be
Right.
joining soon. The next thing that I do want to know as a student is that uh, if I am submitting the proposal for Deskera of one of the projects, so what should that proposal actually consist? Because there are many ways in which I could just write a bio about myself. There could be one way in which I explain that, okay, I would be doing this, this, and this, but how I would be doing, I won't mention that. But another way is that I do write in some details. I do write in how I'd be checking up all the lists, how I'd be doing this in the first 2 weeks. So, what is that ideal proposal that you would be accepting and you would be, which would increase my chances of getting selected for the organization?
So I think so. There are a couple of things. So this is a very subjective question, right? When it comes to proposal. So what we are looking for in a candidate or the group of people who will be jumping onto a project, right? So one of the things is that in the proposal, basically, so you have to showcase what you are made of. Right? That's the first thing that anyone would look into in a proposal, that what something is bringing on the table, right? So it can be so many things, right? It can be hard work, get their skill sets, what they have been doing, and how. Then next thing is okay. So we have the foundation there available. So how they want to go ahead and execute the project, right? So they have the understanding of the project, and yeah, there can be a few questionnaires and all that. So we'll be helping them respond to that questionnaires so that they have all the answers they need to build up a proposal, right? So in terms of then also the, if possible, uh, some high level design kind of thing where they, which reflects in, okay, they have not only understood it, they have some brief idea on how to basically implement and execute it as well, right? And the choice of technologies that they want to uh, uh, make, and the choices, and also the technology set that they are going to choose, what are their experience levels and the expertise level in those, right? So that also would help in building up the proposal.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also when it comes to um, uh, project, right? So one of the things that we uh, who's under we are going through, we are reviewing that we should feel confident about, okay, that this group of people who are giving the proposal, yes, if I am handing over the project to them, it will get finished. So that kind of enthusiasm, passion, all that should be reflected within a proposal, which helps us making the decision even easier. So these are some of the pointers that I would like to highlight. Yeah. Prem, would
Okay.
you like to add something more?
No, Prashant, I guess you have covered a lot. So,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Okay, sounds good.
So let's say I'm a student and I want to participate. So what time commitment should I be looking forward to in the next 3 months, and what would be the time frame in which I'd be working? So if you could just clarify for some of the students, because the main concern is that since last year the education system has completely transformed into the online mode wherein the students have to devote a, well, they do not know when the classes would be. They do not know when the seminars or any other stuff related to college is done. So, if you could
Right.
just show some light on what is the time requirement for each of the projects.
Sure. I think I have already answered in bits and pieces uh, that question. So basically, uh, the thing, so that amount of time that is getting spent, or how much time you can, that's immaterial, right? Someone who is uh, basically very skilled, highly skilled, and they would be able to do so many things in at a very fast pace. And someone who is very hard working, right? That no one can stop that guy, right? Uh, what we have done is that when we have defined a project, uh, uh, we have taken lots of parameters and evaluated that this can be completed within 3 months. And as I've said that within the proposal, we would be looking for guys who show the passion and enthusiasm to complete it within that time frame. So amount of hours that is spent, that is all immaterial. It all boils down to how much you are going to learn, how much you are going to basically have the enthusiasm and passion to basically work on the project. Uh, so time is immaterial, right? So the amount of hours spent on something which gives you a very beautiful experience, and delivering something which you feel great about, it's like immeasurable.
Yeah, just to add few more on that, Kaushik. So yeah, in Deskera, we believe in flexible timing, first of all, for our employees. Okay, so our employees take the responsibility of end-to-end delivery, and doesn't matter when he is going to work on that. Okay, so it's up to them, right? But coming to sticking with our project and this timeline, as Prashant mentioned, that we have already evaluated this project, and the time is 3 months, right? So there is no such official timing that from this time to this time we are expecting that. But at the same time, yes, the responsibility of the team who will be working, you know, the end goal should be clear. Okay, of course the time will be flexible, it's up to them when they can start, but the mentoring and the mentorship we can have some, we can fix it weekly or something, right, to help them, because they also need a help very regularly, and also those all things will be planned in future. But yeah, regarding the time I can say that, it's the more on the team members.
Yeah, definitely the students should be looking for your active guidance throughout the project, because without industry connect, without industry guidance, it would not be possible or feasible for them to work on and get to higher conclusive end on products which would be deployed later on. So thank you, everyone. I do hope if you before going, if you have any tips, trips, or any insight points that you want to showcase or put it up front to the students so that they are able to perform well. If you could just do that, that would be great.
I think, as I've been mentioning, right, so it's all about your hard work, your passion, your enthusiasm. So that and basically, when you take up ownership of something, uh, you hold yourself accountable instead of someone else holding you accountable for something. You take that ownership and you hold yourself accountable for doing something great, right? So that is one of the things that uh, outshines anything, and it reflects, right? So those are the qualities, basic qualities that everyone should look forward to um, making part of their attributes, personal attributes. So that helps you not only starting or bootstrapping your career, it will help in the long run, because everywhere you go, you will be known as a person like, yeah, yeah, this guy can be relied upon when it comes to doing something, when it comes to solving a problem solving, be it anything, right?
Yeah, that does really help. In actually, your works do not go anywhere; it stays with you. So definitely,
Right.
that will affect and reflect in your work. So, with that, thank you, Prem and Prasad, for joining in and helping the students with their final preparation as they are completing their application proposals, which are to be submitted by 21st of May, which is pretty soon. So, thank you. Yeah, uh, I do have a few queries from the students, from the audience right now. I'll just put up one of the questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So one of the students is asking, do the other technologies other than the mentioned in the program will help in this project? So basically, he's trying to ask is that if he's not actually that well suited for that with that tech stack that you had mentioned earlier for both the project, can he still be able to contribute?
So it depends, right? So there is no hard and fast rule or an absolute answer to anything, right? Since as we have mentioned that we are following microservices architecture, so technology is not a constraint. You can build your microservice using, as Prem said, we use Golang. We have built microservices using Java. We have built microservices using Node.js. We have built microservices using C++, C Sharp. So anything, right? So it can be built using anything. So as long as the overall solution is in place, it's reliable, it's scalable, it is it's highly performant, and so nothing can stop it. So technology is never a constraint. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yeah, that definitely helps us answer the question. And with this, basically throwing it open that, okay, if you are able to do it, you should do it in a new way. We have one more question. I hope I'm not exceeding the time. So I've just got one another question. What are the main aspects that you would look into the proposal? So by this, what I feel that he's trying to mean is that, so the
Mhm.
what by aspects he may be meaning that Is their personal resume important? Is their previous experience with projects related to this tech stack important? Or is it just that their work and their ideation or vision that they have is important?
So I think I have briefly highlighted what we would be looking into a proposal. I think in the aspects, yes, a resume plays a little role, and the kind of projects that you have taken up, that also plays a role. But what you have done to make things happen, that plays a very important role. So and I have also provided various attributes and traits, right? So those all will play an important role when it comes to the review of the proposals. I hope I have answered the question, or was it too small and brief?
No, no, it's completely fine. It's completely
Yeah.
fine, Prasad.
Okay.
So, shall I take just another last question? There seems to be a question out there.
Sure.
Uh, are we needed to code or modify the previous code while working on the project? So this would be pretty
Uh,
simple, I'd say.
okay. Let me answer this. So, Supriya, whoever asked this question, thanks for asking this question. So, basically, this is a project which has to be started from the scratch. Okay, we are not going to modify any of the existing code base. Okay, so this, whatever the project is designed, it is designed in a standalone mode, and on successful implementation, this will be integrated maybe in the future. Okay, with the actual one. Okay, so this is completely a standalone. Everything has to be start from the scratch. So, and yes, we have to do our coding. That's the main things. So, yeah, hope I answer your question.
Yeah, thanks, Prem. Thanks a lot. We had a great time conversing with you, and hope the students also got a valuable feedback and important pointers to take from this session too. So, thank you, Prem and Prasan, for joining.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much,
Thank
Kaushik. It was nice talking to you and the students. I hope it has helped and they would be able to build the proposals. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
definitely. We'll be looking forward to great proposals from the students.
yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Looking
Kasim.
forward to it. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ray.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ray.
thanks a lot. So, welcome back once again. We had with us Prem and Prasant from Deskera. Now, looking forward, tomorrow we'll be having two organizations with us. The first one being Hopscotch, uh, for which we'll be joined by Andrew, and we'll be having Frappe organization, for which we'll be having Gavin D'Souza with us. So these would be the two organizations that we would be having tomorrow. Before I just wrap up today's work session, I'd say, uh, to keep in mind, there are two things that you need to keep highly important. That is, your application number should be with you while applying, because you need to first apply and generate the application number by clicking on the register now button and generate your application number. Once you have got your application number, only then you are required to submit the proposal. Please do not submit the proposal without the application number, otherwise you would not be counted as a participant. So to keep this in mind, to place your application number in the proposal for each and every organization, that is a necessity. Apart from this, the applications would be closing on 21st of May, so please do hurry up and complete your proposals as early as possible. With this, I'll just take a leave for today. Join you tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. We'll be having two organizations, Hopscotch and Frap, with us. Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot for joining in.